Okay, level 2s and 3s. This is mostly level 3s with a little level 2 thrown in. But these level 3s are when you have pictures within pictures. So look at the following picture and determine how many triangles you can see. Okay, hopefully you were able to say you can see two triangles, the large one and then the smaller one. Okay, so those are the two triangles we're going to be talking about here. Those two triangles are similar. In order for triangles to be similar, they have to have two congruent angles. So in those two triangles, you have a right angle in each. Those are both congruent. And they share the angle C in both of them. And the angle C doesn't change from one triangle to the next, which means angle C is going to be equal. So you've got two angles that are equal, making the two triangles similar. Okay, so you got AB to be 24. So I'm always going to label my big picture first. AC to be 40. And then DE to be 6. And I want to find the length of BE. Well, from here, I don't really know how to deal with a quadrilateral. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redraw both triangles separately. So I'm going to redraw ABC and label the vertices. A, B, and C. So I know that AC was 40 and AB was 24. And I didn't know BC. I know both of those are right angles. So, and then this is going to be D, E, and C. So DE was 6, and I didn't know DC, and I didn't know EC. Okay, but I want to find BE. Well, here's what I can do, is I can find out what BC is, because the old dead guy, right triangles, will give you that side length. So let's go ahead and figure out what that is. Hopefully you said that was 32. Okay, so I labeled it in my picture that I redrew and in the larger picture. So if I'm still looking to find out BE, if I find out CE, then I can just subtract from 32 to get that measurement of BE. So I'm going to label CE as Y and solve for that using proportions. So I'm going to say Y over 32 equals, I'm going to have to go back to 6 over 24. So I got 6 times 32 divided by 24. Gives me 8. So if Y equals 8, again, put it in my little picture, put it in my big picture, and then I'm just going to subtract 32 minus 8 to give me 24 as BE. Okay, level 3, these are called altitude to hypotenuse ratios. These might be very, very tricky. My words of wisdom to you guys is to redraw the triangles. That's the only way that we're going to get through this here. So the first thing that I want you to do is label the vertices. So let's label this A, B, C, and D. All right, so again, we want to look for similar triangles. And like in the last problem, triangles are similar if they have two congruent angles. So in this picture, we actually have 3 different triangles. We have one on the left, one on the right, and then a big one as the whole triangle. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to redraw those triangles, and here's where it's going to get a little bit tricky. I'm going to go ahead and redraw the green one in the same direction that it was originally facing. So I have the right angle up at the top. This was A, this was B, and this was C. So I literally just I undrew it, or I moved it from the big picture to just a triangle by itself with no line down the middle. And then I'm going to remark everything. So AB was Z. AC I didn't know, but if I combine the X and 24, I can represent this saying X plus 24. And then BC was Y. All right, now here comes the tricky part. I'm going to take the red triangle, but I'm going to redraw it in the same direction with the right angle in the same spot as the green one. So I know that the green and the red are similar because they have the right angles that are congruent, and I put them in the same spot so they can be corresponding. And that right angle was D in the red triangle. Now look at the big triangle and see if you can figure out the angle that they both share. The green one, the big one, and the red triangle. What angle do they both share? Hopefully you were able to say C. So C is the angle that they both shared, the green one and the red one, because you can see I circled both green and red there. So C, since C was in the right-hand corner of the green triangle, C needs to be in the right-hand corner of the red triangle. So it's the same location. Okay, the corresponding angles. It's got to match up, which makes this vertice B in the red triangle, because that's the only one we haven't labeled. So then I'm just going to go ahead and label everything. BC is Y, BD is 32, and DC is 24. Okay, last but not least, I got to label the blue triangle. So again, taking the blue triangle, redrawing it so the right angle is up at the top. That's going to be angle D again for that blue one. And then the angle that the big triangle and the blue triangle share is going to be angle A, because if I circle that, the blue and the green overlap. They are the same angle. So angle A is going to be in the same place as that I put angle A in the green triangle. And then this one is going to be angle B. So BD is 32, AD is X, and AB is Z. Okay, so now I just got to go to work. I got to find something that I can either set up a proportion, do the Pythagorean theorem, do something so I can solve for these. So I can look at all three triangles. I can look at the blue and the red. I can look at the green and the red. I can look at the green and the blue in order to set up these proportions. But you got to stay within two triangles when you're working with one variable. What I see first is I look at that red triangle. I see I have two sides and the third side is unknown, meaning I can find the third side because it's a right triangle. So I'm going to go ahead and find that third side using Pythagorean theorem. So I got an answer of 40. So I'm going to get rid of that y and label 40 there. And that means I can label 40 over on BC. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here. Y is 40. Alright, so I got to find Z and I've got to find X. So let's see. Okay, if you look at the green and the red, you can go ahead and find Z. And this is how you're going to do it. So Z, the side that corresponds to Z in the red is 32. And then I have to pick 40 and 24 because I don't want to incorporate another variable using AC because that has an X in it. And then it's just a matter of cross multiplying and dividing. 32 times 40 divided by 24. Which is 53.3 repeating. So that is what Z comes out to be. So not the nicest of numbers, but a number nonetheless. And then I gotta find out what X is. And X you could use, I'm gonna go ahead and stick to using the blue and the red because I've got X, 32, 32, and 24. So I've got nice numbers. So X over 32 equals 32 over 24. So let's see, 32 times 32 divided by 24 will give you 42.6 repeating. So with these types of problems, they're altitude to hypotenuse ratios, that's what they're called. It's so important that you redraw the triangles. I see students have a really hard time with these if they don't redraw the triangles, so don't be stubborn. try my method, and if it doesn't work, I'll find another method for you, but you gotta at least try this a couple times.